Hi, my name is Joanna. I'd like to make a short video about Ezekiel 37 verses 1 to 14, the prophecy of the valley of the dry bones. I'd like to give my opinion on it. As was pointed out in somebody else's video, the nations of the world are called Sheol, or the Diaspora, and above them is Israel or Yisrael, and then above that is Jerusalem. Above that is the Temple Mount, and then the different courts of the temple, the outer court, the holy place, and the most holy. And above that is Shemayim, or heaven. And as you ascend on this chart, it's called making Aliyah, and as you go down, it's called making Yerad or Yerida. So, building on this concept of an ascent being the bridge between heaven and earth, and the world being like a mountain, and going down is a descent, or going down like as to a valley. And as was also pointed out, the Mishnah describes all the lands of the nations as grave lands, and says that they convey uncleanness, like having been in contact with a corpse. When you read the passage in the light of that, Ezekiel 37 verses 1 to 14, and I've got them all nicely on the screen here. The hand of the Lord came upon me. He took me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me down in the valley. It was full of bones. He led me all around them. They were very many of them spread over the valley, and they were very dry. He said to me, O mortal, can these bones live again? I replied, O Lord God, only you know. And he said to me, Prophesy over these bones, and say to them, O dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus said the Lord God to these bones, I will cause breath to enter you, and you shall live again. I will lay sinews upon you, and will cover you with flesh, and form skin over you. And I will put breath into you, and you shall live again, and you shall know that I am the Lord. I prophesied as I had been commanded, and when I was prophesying, suddenly there was a sound of rattling, and the bones came together, bone to matching bone. I looked, and there were sinews on them, and flesh had grown, and skin had formed over them, but there was no breath in them. Then he said to me, Prophesy to the breath, prophesy, O mortal. Say to the breath, Thus said the Lord God, Come, O breath, from the four winds, and breathe into these slain, that they may live again. I prophesied as he commanded me. The breath entered them, and they came to life, and stood up on their feet, a vast multitude. And he said to me, O mortal, these bones are the whole house of Israel. They say, Our bones are dried up, our hope is gone, we are doomed. Prophesy therefore, and say to them, Thus said the Lord God, I am going to open your graves, and lift you up out of your graves, O my people, and bring you to the land of Israel. You shall know, O my people, that I am the Lord, when I have opened your graves, and have lifted you out of your graves. And I will put my breath into you, and you shall live again, and I will set you on your own soil. Then you shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken and have acted, declares the Lord. So when we compare these verses to the chart, we can see that the people were all in the valley, or in the graves. They were all in Sheol, and he promised to bring them up, to bring them out, to bring life into them. So the point I'd kind of like to make is that this prophecy is a prophecy that in the last days God will bring us up out of the nations where we're scattered, and will resettle us in the land. And this also goes in line with the rest of the remaining chapters all around in the book of Ezekiel. If you read the surrounding chapters, that's the theme in all of them. So it's, I think, a very good explanation of this passage. And also reading the last promise one more time. I will put breath into you, and you shall live again, and I will set you upon your own soil. So it seems like it's a pretty clear explanation of the passage, of the verses. And feel free to leave your comments. I look forward to reading them.